Hooray! Today, we welcome back the amazing Lois Hollis, shame guilt educator and filmmaker who is a living embodiment of health and vitality. I will let you on a secret. Lois is planning her 80th birthday rollerblading. And today she will be sharing her secrets, or at least one of her secrets. But first, Lois, for those who didn't listen to our last episode, can you share a bit about who you are and how you came to actually be doing what you do?
Well, I love life, but I had a very abusive childhood, unbeknownst to me, because I didn't realize it until I'm 50. So that
Sure.
tells you that I just keep going because I love life. And I don't know if you could say life did not love me, but I don't know. I was in a situation with a lot of emotional, physical abuse. So I had a lot of brain traumas and broken jaw and broken chest and migraine headaches because of the brain traumas and so forth
Right.
and so on. So it doesn't matter where you start, it's where you finish.
Oh, so true. Yeah.
So, yes. And I'm sure many other people haven't had the same situation, but life has not always been kind to all of us.
True.
And that is where I am today because I realize that shame and guilt, which I call shame guilt, is our enemy. But we
Right.
don't even know it. It's clandestine. So
Yes.
I have this detective mind that won't stop until I get a solution. So I worked very hard at figuring out what is shame and guilt and how do I call it an energy rather than an emotion. And that's how I healed from all the traumas because I found the dark side that people can't name. And when
Right.
I brought it to the light, it made sense and I healed and other people healed. And my whole life has been about being creative. I've always been doing things differently than most people. I helped create the first kidney hemodialysis unit in the United States in 1966.
Wow.
And then I helped develop home dialysis. Well, that has all changed because of transplantation, but I kept people alive long enough to figure out the transplantation. So my whole life is how can we be healthy?
Right.
How can we live better? Because I know there's a way.
Yes.
And over the years, I am extremely sensitive. And people say, oh, that's so sad. I'm going, oh, no, that's so good because I can smell, I can feel something that's bad for you.
Yes.
Hello, that's a good
Yeah,
thing.
it's a gift in a way, right? It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My nickname is the canary in the mine.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
You see
so
the
that's
signs of
who,
danger before anybody else does, right?
right. And even though they say you're crazy, it's okay because 4 months later they go, oh, you're right. So anyway, I don't really care anymore. It's just like I sense it.
Yes.
So,
And you've made a purpose out of this knowledge that you've acquired.
oh, of course, it's my function to help people. But you got to work on the emotional part, but your physical body needs help.
Exactly. So
And
last time in the episode, and for those of you who haven't heard it, go back to the one about shame guilt because it is truly inspirational to look at it that way. But so today we're looking more at, Lois, this whether you're listening to this via the podcast or for those of you listening via the YouTube channel, you can actually see this incredibly vibrant, beautiful woman here. And she is a living embodiment of what I would call health and vitality. So as you say, it's not just the emotional, energetic part of it, but it's also what we can do for our bodies. So that brings us to the topic today, which we've called Juice It Up. It just made me think of that when I look at you and listen to what you're
juice
talking.
it up.
Yeah,
Now,
juice it up.
I was dying at 55, and three doctors said that because my liver was not functioning properly and my kidneys were not, I had low kidney function because of all the drugs I took because of the headaches and my crippling ability didn't allow me to do things. So I met a wonderful holistic physician and he said, Lois, he is trained in Germany. This was the United States. So at that moment, Germany was more holistic than the United States.
Yes.
Doesn't matter, but he was well trained. And he said, you need to juice vegetables. And I went, okay. So seriously, I was living in Arizona, Sedona, and we had, sales, yard sales. And I picked up a juicer for $5 and a rebounder for $5, and $10 saved my life. So
Goodness.
I juiced dandelion greens, and that's what he had recommended for me because they're very strong and they really help the liver. And I had migraine headaches, but I juiced, and within 20 minutes, my headache went away. I went,
Goodness.
wow,
Yeah.
wow, that is just so exciting. But then it came back in about 3 or 4 hours. So I juiced again and it
Right.
went away. So I juice 3 times a day, which is like unheard of. But when you're very, very sick,
Yeah, it's like a
you need
lifeline,
all
right?
the help you can get.
Yeah.
So that turned my head on like, wow, what else can it do? So eventually I did get well, but I want to tell people that if you're in a situation that I was in, you do need a doctor, a
Yes.
professional, holistic person to monitor you.
Yes, of
I
course.
don't have that
Yeah.
now because I know, and I'm healthy now. So I juice once a day or once every 3 days, or,
And that's
I
what
like,
we're talking about now. So indeed,
yeah,
I
that's
like
we're
your
talking.
story. You found
Yeah,
it
I'm
through a medical.
preventing
Yes.
it. So why is juicing so good?
Yes.
Now, enzymes are the key to life.
Right. So what's
Enzyme.
an enzyme?
Enzyme is a molecule. I don't know that. It's a molecule that is our life force. Now, when we eat raw food, we get the enzymes in that raw food. When we eat cooked food, we don't get enzymes
Okay.
because they're killed on heat.
Okay.
So enzymes, I have to look that up and I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah. Okay.
Enzymes,
Yeah.
yeah, enzymes are the quality of food that make the food alive. So
Okay.
juicing is eating food that is alive.
Right.
Cooked food is dead food. It's still nutritious, it's still good, but we need alive food to stay alive.
Right. But so we could also have the raw vegetables, so not cooked, so no killed enzymes,
Yeah,
in
that's
a
fine.
salad or
Right.
just
Now,
like that.
why is it I juice, my husband and we juice, let's say 5 pounds of carrots for one, little off here. Okay. My husband and I would juice 5 pounds of carrots and he would drink the glass and I would. So essentially I'm drinking 2.5 pounds of enzymes.
Yeah, so you get a lot more in you than if you're working your way through
Can't
chewing
eat
2.5 pounds of carrots.
Really, I can't eat 2.5 pounds of carrots. It would hurt you because of all the
Yes.
fiber. The
Yes.
fiber in food, vegetables stops the enzyme. You can't, the only way you can get a powerful enzyme is by juicing because the juice comes from the vegetables, but you don't eat the fiber.
Right.
You
So the
don't
fiber
eat
stays in the juicer or whatever. It's
No. When you juice, you get the juice. You don't get the fiber. That's why I can drink 2.5 pounds of
right.
carrots.
And I think it's probably better for your digestion as well, because I thought I was being mega healthy eating tons of raw vegetables until they actually found out that my intestines cannot digest
Handle
all of
all
that
that.
food vegetables.
Nobody's can.
Yeah.
Nobody's can.
But so wait a minute, just for me, I like the fact that this program is very low threshold. A juicer, does the whole carrot go in it or does something get removed? Is it like a
No,
blender?
well, I have, and I can put that, I have a video on juicing from
Okay.
my friend in London, and I can put that in your chat so they can see the different kinds of juicers.
But does
There are
anything come out? As in basically, you're saying you're removing the fiber, but is there a physical?
Yeah, you put the carrot in the juicer. The juice comes out and the carrot fiber stays back.
Right.
And
Okay. So it's a bit like squeezing an orange. The skin's not going in, right? So, but the fiber.
exactly.
Okay, get you.
Now people say, oh, I do a smoothie. I put the carrots in and the apples in and the strawberries and all that, and I drink it. No,
Yeah,
no,
now I get you
no,
completely, because
because
that
you're
was also
getting the
something I thought
fiber.
about. Yes, I get you now. You see, I don't
Okay.
have a juicer, and I was thinking it was like a smoothie. So when you were talking about removing the fiber, I was a bit like, okay, maybe when it's minced down very little, the fiber's gone. But no, you're literally, a juicer does separate the juice from the whatever's left,
The
right?
vegetable,
The vegetable. Okay.
and that's it. And this is very important to say. Never juice vegetables with fruit.
Okay. Oh, that's a good tip, right? Because I was going to ask you for some tips as well.
That's very important. And that's because some people say, oh, I always put a peach and an apple in my vegetable juice. And I go, no, 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 no.
Right. Yes.
Now,
So
they
why?
don't,
Why?
why? Because if you don't, juice a vegetable, carrots or something like that, and put it in a glass.
Yeah.
And then juice peaches and oranges and apples and put it in a glass. Then put the two glasses together and you'll see foam and foam. They neutralize each other.
Oh, see?
So you get a stomach ache because you put the juices and the fruit together.
Oh,
Now,
so that tells us that then all this smoothie business is rubbish, because in lots of smoothies,
it's
you
the
have your
worst thing to
spinach
do.
and your pineapple or God knows what. Okay, right. They
So
neutralize each other.
yeah. So, but also it causes rumbling in your stomach and all that stuff.
Right.
And so juice vegetables, eat fruits.
Right. But if you were to juice the fruit, how long from each
You
other do they
don't
need to
juice
be?
fruits.
No,
You
you don't
don't
juice the
juice.
fruit.
You know
Okay.
why? Because it's pure sugar.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Now I can eat a fruit like I'm eating a plum and
Yeah.
I'm eating the fiber with it. So
Yes.
I'm eating sugar and fiber so my
Okay.
blood sugar doesn't spike.
Yeah. So it's
But if
good
I
to eat it, right? Because it has the two.
fiber in it,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
oh,
Now
it's
that's
so
clever.
sweet. I'm going, you can't drink sugar
Yes.
without the fiber because your blood sugar goes.
Yep.
I'm talking health wise. That's really not
How
good
come we don't know this?
because I don't know,
It's
but it's,
incredible.
and Mercola, Dr. Mercola, I'm sure you've heard of him. He's universal. Dr. Mercola, he's done a lot with juicing too. And you can also reference him
Right.
too,
Right.
because he
Yeah.
shows you how to juice.
We'll have a look at
And I
that.
can put
Okay.
that in the thing. So what I want to do is I want to validate what we're saying
Yes.
by
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah, but so
But
we
most,
can look it up. We can look up Dr. Mercola and see what research there is on that. But so when you talk about juicing, right? So you said you juice every few days. And does that mean that that day you only drink juice? Or how, do you combine? How does it work? Or how's the
well,
best?
it's always best, ideally, to drink the juice on an empty stomach because it goes right into the body.
Right,
However, juicing is good anytime.
right,
If you're eating and you went, oh, I'm hungry, drink the juice. Juice
right.
is like heaven from God.
Yeah.
It is just so. I've helped so many people learn about juicing, and I see them like a month or two later. Their face is radiant. They're full of enzymes. They're full of life because they're drinking life. You can't get that much from a salad. You have
Yeah.
two carrots in your salad,
Yeah. True.
and
Okay, we're
but
going to
you,
go into what we should juice in a minute. But so are these people combining it with other food, as in normal food?
well, you can eat your potatoes and all that and drink your juice. I'm saying that's okay, but it's best on an empty stomach.
Right. But
But
that same day you can also eat.
oh, of course,
It's not a
I
diet,
just
right? It's a
it's
supplement
not a
when you're,
diet.
yeah,
It's like drinking. Oh, the old days, your mother used to give you black stuff molasses or something. It's
right,
drinking something good for you.
right.
Instead of drinking the water, you drink, the juice.
So how much would you say, should one have one glass of juice, and then we'll go into what sort of
Now
juicing
it's a whole
animals to do?
story. It's a whole
Okay.
story on juicing because you can't drink a whole glass of juice when you never juiced before.
Oh,
I
why?
tell
Because it
people,
tastes bad, you mean, or because your body
no,
will
no,
react?
because your body's like, oh my goodness, oh, what
Yeah.
did you do to
Okay.
me? And we're talking to an older population here
Yes. Yes.
whose bodies aren't as resilient, or maybe whatever. So I feel a necessity to say, start small.
Start
Like,
small. Okay.
you juice, like a half a glass,
Half a
you know,
glass. Okay.
4 ounces or something for like 2 or 3 weeks. Then you go to 6 ounces. Then you go, it's an intuitive thing. That's why
Right.
a lot of people don't, oh, how do you do this? It's an intuitive thing. You go, oh, that good. I felt good with that. So I'll drink that.
But
But
it's
if you,
daily, right? We can do it daily.
oh, yes,
And
yes.
the more you do it within reason, once your body's used
But
to it.
within reason, right?
Yes.
Within
Right.
reason. So start small and then work up.
And work up. So
Work up.
what vegetables, because I mean, okay, we've talked about carrots, right? And so they have specific properties, but I dare say various vegetables have various
There's some
properties.
things that you shouldn't juice, and I have
Okay.
all this written down, and I'm going to email it to
Yeah, I'll
you.
add it to the
So
show
you can,
notes.
so it'll be in the show notes because I want you never juice parsley, and now I'm talking about the United States, and you're global.
Yeah.
So I tend to take carrots and cucumbers and celery and things of that sort because they're
Okay.
very juicy.
Yes. And
But
do you put anything else in the machine or just that?
that's just that.
Right.
The rule is the more things. Did you ever go to a restaurant and oh, let me try your steak and I'll try chicken and I'll try some potatoes and peas and all that. And you're like, oh my God, I really shouldn't have eaten all that.
Yes.
It isn't that you ate too much, you ate different foods.
Right.
And your body needs this enzyme to break down the carrots and this
So it's the
enzyme to break
combination,
down the
right?
meat. Yeah. So you'll see a lot of people, they're saying this is the combination diet, just eat this and just eat that.
Mm.
So it behooves us when we juice, they go, oh, I'll put celery in and tomatoes and apples and oranges and your system's going, I
Help.
can't
Yeah.
digest that.
Yeah.
1 or 2 items is better than 10.
Yes.
Okay.
That makes total sense to me.
I mean, it's just logical. But
Yeah.
people say, oh, I'll throw an apple in. I got peaches from yesterday. And
Yeah.
I'm going, oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Don't
No,
talk
it's
to
not
me.
a rubbish bin, right? We're not.
I don't
We're
want to
not.
know you.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
know you. And I
Okay.
put it all in a smoothie and drink. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
It hurts my heart.
Yeah.
Clean, neat juicing. Just
Right.
1 or 2 items and only the ones that work for you. Now, do you have any questions on that? Because I wanted to
No,
go.
I'm just thinking, I should look up then, which vegetables are good. And you've just said which ones are right for you. So does that mean regarding
I
various digestive systems or just what tastes good and what your body
we got
reacts
a
to?
little. I juice the most nutritious vegetable I know. Hello, why would you not?
Yes. So that's the carrot, you mean?
Well, dandelion greens
Oh, yes, dandelion greens.
are the most nutritious green.
Not even sure where you buy dandelion greens, to be honest, but I'm sure we can.
Yeah, and a lot of people grow their own.
Right.
So, and always use organic.
Yes.
Organic. So that's kind of a bitter taste. So you can juice carrots with that to help sweeten it up. But
Right.
that's okay. That's Now, if you can't get that, you can juice celery.
Right.
And celery has a lot of juice in it. So it's really,
Yes.
it's good. It's not potent, but it's good.
Yes.
And that's a good thing to start with.
Right.
We have to take care of our systems that are weakened. We all are suffering from a weakness because of what the world is at this point. And the food supply is so bad.
Yeah, and the quality of the food that we have nowadays. Because I remember asking a homeopath who was giving me a whole list of supplements. And I was saying, well, isn't an apple enough? And he said, well, before, yes, an apple was enough. But now you would need to eat about 8 apples in order to have the nutrients that used to be in an apple.
That's why juicing is good.
Yeah, exactly. You can get lots in one go.
Right. Now, I have to say something here, and this is the United States. You are representing more. Be smart.
Yeah.
Our food supply has been altered. We buy 50-pound bags of carrots and we juice them and all that. I've been doing that for 30 years,
Yeah.
Joy. 30 years, okay? I know my carrots, okay? And I bit the carrot to taste it, and it was the most horrible, horrible, horrible taste I've ever had in my life. In fact, I didn't swallow it. I just bit into it and I got physically ill.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Okay, now this is from a very good market, very organic, but they import from another state.
Right.
So I can't say juice carrots. I can't say juice this because I don't know how your
Yeah.
foods
No,
have
and don't
been.
worry. I mean, I'm not holding you up as, I
Yeah,
mean, nor do you need to be a specialist in all the different nutrients. This is a conversation to just
yeah.
stimulate the idea of people
But
looking into
you have
juicing.
to be careful of your products you're using.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am very fortunate. I live in an area where there's farms. I don't have
Right.
a farm. I do podcasts.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
But I know who
Yeah.
is making the greens. They have
Right.
a wonderful farm. It's local. They take it out of the ground and put it in a box, and I
Yeah.
take it home.
Nothing else happens. By the way,
Okay.
you do peel them, right? Do you peel them or do you wash them
No,
and
you
put the
just
whole
rinse
thing
them,
in?
you just wash
Yeah.
them. And they use no chemicals.
Right.
They
Right.
use no bad pesticides. I'm aware of the fact that when produce and vegetables move from one state to another, they spray them because they
Right.
don't want bugs on them.
Yeah, and exactly. And most of our stuff is imported from somewhere. And of course, it needs to not go off during the huge trip. And that's the problem with everything. And that's
So
why, increasingly we feel we should be eating local produce and we should also be eating what's in season because that's what our body needs.
exactly. So that's
Yeah.
what I'll teach you about freezing. I freeze my juice so that when it's available,
Oh, that's
I
good.
can go in the freezer and get it. I can't go to the farm. So I
Right.
can tell you how practically you can do this. Now, that's the main thing. What you juice is very, very important.
Okay.
And you have to find someone that has good vegetables
Yeah.
or make them yourself. I
Yeah.
used to grow it myself, but it got, I got really busy and I
Yeah,
couldn't get it.
I'm on the 8th floor in a flat, so it's not really the best environment to grow to grow carrots.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, sure.
there are people that are farmers and there are people that
Yeah.
my cousin in another state, she has a great garden and she grows her dandelion greens and she goes out in the morning and picks them up, rinses them off and
Oh, how
juices them. Okay.
wonderful. Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's doable. And if that
But
you
still,
don't,
there is second best, as you're saying. I mean, I'm based in Holland, and we have extremely good centers, which are all biological, or you can go straight to the farm and get your produce. That's done more and more as well. So, I mean, there are ways for us to do it. I'm just
yeah,
keeping an eye on the time because we have about 5 minutes left. Shall we stay on the juicing? Because I know you were going to share other tips
yeah.
about health and
Well,
well-being,
I
but
think we should stay on juicing
let's stay
because
on
juicing
juicing. Yeah,
is magic. If you want magic in your life, juice.
right.
It is just phenomenal. People say, well, I can't do that every day and it's too much trouble and all that kind of stuff. Okay,
How
well,
long does it keep actually? Sorry for interrupting you. Say, for example, you juice a batch, right? So you've got your juicer full of the stuff and you're not going to drink all of
then
that
you
in
got to
one
clean
go.
your juicer and that's it.
But can
It's
you
a,
keep it for a while without freezing it?
now you drink your juice right away
Right.
because the enzymes are alive.
Yes. Okay. Right.
And so you can drink it within an hour or something like that. And so my kids who were brought up on juice and said, Mom, we go to school every day. We can't do the juicing. We got to juice though. They came up with on the weekend, they would juice a whole batch and they would take plastic cups
Yes.
or, coffee cups and pour, 4 to 6 ounces in 1 and 2 and 3. They have 10 cups. Put the 10 cups in a
In the
freezer
freezer.
and you can freeze it.
You can
You
freeze it.
can freeze
Okay.
juicing.
That's a useful tip.
And then on their way out to work, they stop in the freezer, pick up a cup, and by the time they get to their work, it's
They can drink
defrosted,
it.
they drink it. How cool is that?
Perfect. That is
That
cool. And for
perfect?
those maybe who don't have such a huge freezer where you can't have 10 glasses, I was thinking you can also do like ice cube trays as well, you know, where you
You can
can
do
get them
ice
all
cube trays.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's easier for the cups. I've tried the
Yes,
ice cube
yes.
trays, but it's easy. Put 4 ounces in a cup and then put it in the freezer. Now you must, this is the must, you must drink the juice that day
Right.
because it has no preservatives in it.
Yes, of
That's why it's
course.
so good.
Yeah.
Never, ever, 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 never drink juice that's a day old.
Right.
You will get sick.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. That's good to
Okay.
know.
I think we
Okay.
covered a lot, and
We did.
I have on my website the first page, the juicing video I did with my friend in London that
Oh,
shows.
fantastic.
So you can, I'll send all this to you afterwards.
Yes, make sure you do, because I'm pretty sure I've got the link to your website.
It's loishollis.com.
Okay.
And then the middle of that is juicing for health.
Okay. So let's make sure we put all of that in the show notes. And I mean, the idea of today is to wake people up to the idea that this is good for us, so that at least we look into it, that we look into juices, that we look into combinations, that we start trying it. And you've given us a lot of food then for thought. And it just sounds right. And I'm so relieved because you've actually clarified a lot of things for me, because I wasn't 100% sure between a juicer and a blender, between a smoothie and a juicing. And I've heard you, I mean, I've made notes. So for those of you listening, I hope you have taken notes. I shall maybe share some of the tips again as a summary here. So never fruit and vegetables together because they neutralize each other. A blender is different than a juicer because the juicer keeps the fiber
away from the juice.
Away from the juice.
Blenders, no,
exactly.
they're
too much for
wonderful
your
things,
system.
but not for juicing.
Exactly. Better vegetables, because juicing fruit, you're then removing the fiber and all you're left with is sugar, which is pretty bad for your sugar levels anyway. So eat the fruit. Juice on an empty stomach, because then there's more chances of the enzymes getting through. Start small. Don't overload your system, even with something good. So start with a half glass. Some ideas there were carrots, cucumber, celery, etc. But 1 or 2 items is better,
Yes.
as in don't go putting 25 things in together. Dandelion greens are optimal, but because they're a bit better, they could do well with carrots. You do need to drink the juice within an hour or freeze it. And when you defrost it, same thing within an hour, because the whole good thing is that these enzymes are live, right? And that's what's good for us. And as you said at the beginning, if you want to stay alive, you need to
eat live food.
You've got to eat live food. And since most of us are not going to go around catching a cow and sticking our teeth into his rump,
Okay, and I just want to say, people say, oh, you're vegetarian. I said, no, I juice my green vegetables in the morning.
Yes.
And then for lunch, I have a big hamburger.
Yeah, see, it's all about balance in life. It is all about balance. Now, Lois, just before we go, so you also help people with this, right? People can you have
people can loishollis.com, and I have my email on there. And if you have questions, I will answer them. But also, I don't answer medical questions. I answer juice questions.
Yeah. But you actually coach people through this as well, don't you?
Yeah, I can help
clients can come to you and they pay you for your service, let's say, and you help them understand what.
Yeah, because if people are very interested in it, they need to know more, but at least we gave them something to think about.
Yes. And I am so grateful to you. And I mean, I can't believe, your next birthday will be 80, because you're just live and chirpy as well.
Because I've been juicing for 30 years.
Exactly. Now, girls, let's get started, right? Because we all want to be like you. Thank you, Lois, very much. I would love to have you back at another time, because I know there were other tips, that you were sharing in regards to health and vitality and wellness. So you're very welcome back. It's an open door policy, but for today, I thank you very, very much. And for the rest of you out there, let's juice it up. Speak to you again this time next week. Bye.
Bye, Julie.